5 years, I intend to be leaving my house down the south for the last time, leaving everything behind and travelling more than 300 miles north to my new life in the Scottish city of Stirling. This will probably be my future as I pursue a media and video editing degree at the University of Stirling. But in order for all this to happen, I need to go to Stirling before I move there indefinitely to prove that Stirling is really the city of my future. And the first step for going to Stirling is Glasgow, a city I know very well and is where most of my family comes from. So before I did anything else, I set out for Glasgow ready for the adventure ahead. So I am at Crewe right now, and this is the train that I'm getting to Glasgow. However, after arriving into Preston, we were hit with a massive issue. There was nothing that we could do, and given the reliability of Avanti West Coast recently, this didn't look promising. But as all hope seemed lost, so now apparently a driver has been found, so we can get on the move again. We are moving! After arriving into Glasgow, I boarded a train that would take me to Muir End, where I was staying for the next few days. And after arriving into Muir End, I headed to my grandparents' house. Ooh, at last I've arrived. It's been a long journey. Now just to relax. And that is exactly what I did. I entertained myself for a few hours by watching a program that I found on iPlayer called Scotland the New Wild. It featured a place in Scotland called the Monarch Isles, in which I really want to go to. So it is quite late now. I've been watching Planet Earth 3 all night. So I think I'm going to head off to bed now, and I don't have anything else to say. So I will see you guys in the morning. That night, I lay awake for hours, and I was wondering about one thing. Was Stirling really the city of my futures? And the next morning, I'd made my decision. I was currently staying in Glasgow, and so I would explore that and see if that had any potential to be somewhere that I might live when I'm older, or if my last resort would be Stirling. Even though I liked Stirling a lot more, Glasgow still had a lot of potential that I hadn't uncovered. And the next day, my mind was set. I decided to add an extra day onto my trip for 1 day for Glasgow and 1 day for Stirling. After that, I would finally make my decision, and since I liked Stirling a lot more, I would save it to last. And so tomorrow would be the day that I would go and explore Glasgow. Okay, so it's the next morning now, and today we are going out to go and explore Glasgow, so it should be fun. And so I headed into Glasgow first to the Braehead shopping centre. After arriving, I had a look in the shops of H&M, Leading Labels, Trespass, Waterstones and Primark before settling down for lunch. After that, I went to go and see Trolls at the cinema. Again, that was my sister's choice. Oh my gosh, how is this film so happy? And after a torturous couple of hours, I headed back to Muir End. So I have just arrived back, but I have just received a message from my YouTuber friend Bertha. He's going to be coming to where I'm staying at the moment, so I can meet up with him. And I don't know how I didn't notice him, but whilst I was busy downstairs, Bertha arrived and snuck upstairs and then started recording. Yeah, not my proudest moment.
Good morning, everybody, in the land of Bertha. Indeed, yes. He will have to go through the pain and suffering of blurring my face out. So, we're going to be playing... Oh, it says his real name on this computer. What's his pen? I forgot his birthday. I forgot. Okay. Okay. Oh my god, it was his birthday. Okay. So. Yeah, it isn't very secure. Okay, so.
What are you doing?
You need to include this in your video. You need to include this in your video. Watch over the recording.
Okay, I'm gonna have to see what happened here. Bertha has just arrived whilst I've been away, and what have you done? So we've just had dinner, and now Bertha's going to play.
Everybody.
Stop trying to do the baby filter on me, okay? And that Bertha's is just going to play SCP roleplay. What do you mean it ran out? And she was just trying to get my ID up on the screen, but yeah. And I don't know if all of you will remember, but I'm just going to talk quietly. I don't want anyone else in the house to hear. Well, no, yeah, well, it's going to be things and on the microphone. But you may remember it was like 5 or 6 videos back or sometime when me and Bertha came to this house and snuck on the computer. Now, Bertha is going to try and do it again, so that's going to be quite funny to see if he actually does do it. And so after sneaking onto the computer, Bertha loaded up his favourite game, SCP Roleplay. No, he's making it. Which SCP are you going to test him on?
I'm not sure yet.
Right. Just don't know why the Class D is just being very, very tame. Quite weird. Yeah.
Well, everybody's
It's so funny. That's so cruel. He said he was scared and then he just said go in. Right. Let's just watch him get tortured. Here we go. And he's dead. So it's been a while now, about half an hour, but Bertha's just left, so I think I'm just gonna watch some TV for the rest of the evening. I watched some kind of Irish history program for about an hour, and then I decided to go back upstairs. After that, I decided to head to bed for the night because the next day would be a big one, as we would be heading up to Stirling. So today is the day that I head to Stirling, and I haven't been awake for long, but I want to get out of the house pretty quickly so I can have a long time. And so after having breakfast, I left on my way to Muir End. So now I'm just going to get this train to Glasgow Central. After arriving into Glasgow Central, I walked to Glasgow Queen Street and boarded the train that would take me to Stirling. And at last, I'm in Stirling, the city of my future. And so, after arriving into Stirling, I decided to head to Stirling Castle. It was a huge rocky building perched on a cliff that overlooked the entire city. And I knew that this would be something that I could not miss. And so that was the first place that I headed. That was until I found out how expensive it was, yet I don't have that money just to spare. Although subscribers can get monetized and I can actually afford it. But anyway, since I couldn't go to the castle, I decided to go for a walk through Stirling because it is an absolutely beautiful city. So I'm just walking up this road past this really nice church, but yeah, it really stands out. And walking through all these streets just reminded me of how good a city can be. You see, on all my adventures, I've always tended to go to the countryside, but now I saw a different perspective. And soon I spotted something that caught my eye, Stirling Old Town Jail. And so I decided that would be the first thing that I would go and see in Stirling. Okay, let's see what we have in here. We have a cell, another cell, and just up here is some kind of exercise yard in which also gives an amazing view of Stirling. After exploring the jail, I headed back down into the centre of Stirling and went for lunch in a cafe. It was really nice, but after I wanted to go and explore more. And then I remembered a place that could give me the ultimate view of Stirling. This is the National Wallace Monument located to the University of Stirling. It would be an amazing thing to see. And so that was my next destination. And so, after arriving at the monument, I started the walk, and as I walked up, I wondered something. What would I find at the top? Would Stirling really be the city of my future? And so, there was only one way to find out. Oh my gosh. And so the time came where I made a decision, and for me, Stirling was perfect, especially with the rolling mountains watching over all in the distance. And after staying at the monument for a bit, I headed back into Stirling. So the Wallace Monument, that was amazing, but now it's time to head back to Stirling train station. It's very hard to believe that in 5 years, I could be living in one of those flats that we saw in the halls of residence of the university. I really can't wait for that day to come true. But yeah, definitely recommend the Wallace Monument if you're around Stirling or Bridge of Allen. And so, after arriving back at the station, I boarded the train back to Glasgow. And after boarding the train, a thought wouldn't get out of my head. What would the future hold for me? I could not stop thinking about it, and I knew that I would not be back at the city of my future for a while. But it didn't matter, because there was one thing that I knew that changed everything. My future lies here.